ForbesDVD.com.
Yeah, what it is, people? It's your boy, Doggy Diamonds. You already know ForbesDVD.com. I got the homie on the phone. He just reached out to me and said he has some shit he need to speak on real quick. Let him know who's on the jack.
Chiraq Don, Jojo Capone, you dig?
Jojo, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm hanging in there. You know, I see I'm trending again right now. You know, they say they caught William Roberts' hands in the cookie jar, man, stealing from the kids. You dig?
Wow. So go ahead.
We got a moniker that we've been known for in the streets for years. Hood Billionaires, where we addressed ourselves as, just giving us a, something to look forward to. You feel me? That's just how we felt. We moving. That's how we was moving. Long story short, it was a point in time where me and William was hollering, you know what I'm saying, and he said, let's do a mixtape together, throw it out there for the streets, Global Gangsters and him, and let's see what they gonna do. Send them 6, 7 songs, and he gonna, leave his verses open, and we'll take it from there. So I'm like, cool. Put me in tune with Gucci Poochie, send it to him, send it to Gucci. Then I don't hear nothing back. I ain't hearing nothing back, so I never got upset at him because he did do a record with us called Hustler. They can Google that, Hustler, Global Gangsters featuring Rick Ross. So, now it's like, the respect for whatever for the real Rick Ross is the reason I'm addressing him as William Roberts. It ain't no shade. I ain't bitter. I ain't, nothing like that. It's just a facts that we speaking on, you know what I'm saying? And it's trending. It's trending. So, I always want anything to have something to do with me to be spoken on from the horse's mouth. You dig? Like, I don't like nobody to speak for me. And basically that's the input of it. Hood Billionaires, if y'all search Act Like an ENT, Hood Billionaires on YouTube, you'll see the video. 3 years old, man. Song 3 years old. But really, because you record a record and then put it out. But just saying that to say, it was during the time I sent him the records with his verses open, which is shout out to my brother Mano. You know what I'm saying? I had sent him Boss of My City. I sent it to Cameron. I sent it to Jadakiss and a few more people. But Mano was the one that jumped on Boss of My City. But all of these records that I'm speaking on was from this mixtape that I'm telling y'all about. So we shot the video for Boss of My City in New York, Brooklyn, shout out Mano, and that's out as well. But that's how Mano was able to get on that record, because I'm not going to wait on nobody, my nigga. Like, I'm a man of my word. If you say you're going to do something, do it in the stat. And one thing I did like about William was if he did say he was going to do something, he done it. It's just all of a sudden things had changed, you know what I'm saying? Once he had to switch it over to Gucci, to handling his business, and with certain people, you can't just rock us to sleep. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. You know what I'm saying? And I actually bumped into them an all-star game in I think in Arizona in the mall. You know what I'm saying? I ran into them, and I'm like, nigga, I say, what's up, my nigga? Where the love at or whatever. So he was like, Poochie, handle that. Like, what happened? I said, I sent them everything. You know what I'm saying? You say send them the shit. Because now you done told my artists, you feel me? You looked them in their eyes and spoke to them and told them, look, when he come off the tour, he wanted me to bring all of them to Miami. We're going to jump in the studio and knock the mixtape out. So, like, I'm used to niggas not keeping their word or not saying not keeping their word to me. I refrain that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not used to niggas not keeping their word to me. But I'm used to people getting busy. Like, I understand this business. Not making up an excuse for what has happened or making an excuse for him. But I feel that he had good intentions, and the reason I say that, because he did do a record with us. Called I'm a Hustler. But it's like, once you start passing stuff over to the managers, a lot of times, if there's no money involved or something like that for the manager to make, they're not going to do what the person they working for tell them to do. So I called him up on that, and Poochie was pulling me to the side like, Joe, I got you, man. You know, I got you. You know, don't, you know, I got you. Like, basically, don't put him on blast like that. You know, but I'm like, my nigga, shit, I've been going back and forth with this shit, you know what I'm saying, for too long. You know what I'm saying, like 2-3 months. And I'm not used to that with him because he'll knock some shit out the same day and send it back. So it's like I got in the studio, we did our records, and I sent them back to him, you know what I'm saying, and I was expecting that same return as from the first record that we done. And it didn't happen, and I just knew once I seen him, all I could do was confront him, you know what I'm saying, and he looked at Poochie, he like, man, Poochie handle that shit, like, nigga, what's up, you know what I'm saying, like, he fuck with me, you know what I'm saying, so, he, you know, he didn't want that shit to be that, like that, or be that way, you feel me, so, that's why I say there's no shade, it's just like, but now that I know that, and I feel like he knew that, damn, my nigga, you know, you took our shit and made it your whole album. Shout us out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Shout us out. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't feel like, you know, sometimes I don't feel like a man owe another man anything, but morally, when he got into the original trouble with the GDs, didn't you look out for him in the situation with hooking him up with
Yeah, and once again, I'm always sticking myself out there, you know, to make things go right from the streets perspective to the industry perspective. And the reasons I do that is because I'm from the streets, but I also got into this industry. So I understand both sides. You know, these guys just want to do whatever it takes to sell and make money, and that's cool. But when you start dealing with people's personal lives, and you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You can't, man. You know, so I always, if anybody look, I always wanted the best between the streets and the music industry dudes, even though 100% of the music industry dudes full of shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no secret. It's like, I ain't the first one going through nothing with no industry motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, cause this shit ain't no issue to me. Like, it's just, I woke up, I seen that I'm adding in a bunch of shit and the shit was trending, you know, so I'm speaking on it. You feel me? Like, okay, I tell that, you know, or why is this shit trending? The people seeing this shit like, hold on, this nigga got an album called Little Billionaire, but we seen this shit, we heard this shit, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit got over 150,000 views on YouTube, so you can't say it wasn't heard of or it didn't get no shine or no light. You know, you can't, see, that's the difference with me. You can't do that shit to me. Like if it was somebody else, some up and coming rapper motherfucker or something, you can do that. But you can't do that to a nigga that's been putting in work in this game, man. You know, so
let me ask you something. What was supposed to be the name of your mixtape project? Was it Hood Billionaires?
No, Hood Billionaires was just a single that we had, you know what I'm saying, that we shot a video for. So it's really like, I don't know if it's Double XL or one of them. You know how they do the original and then the borrower. You know what I'm saying? Like, that song would chart in that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, that song would say, you know, the originators and the borrower. So, now, don't nobody say nothing to Double XL for pointing those things out. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's no difference. You see what I'm saying? I'm just in that situation at this point in time. And it just so happened with him. You feel me? Like, so what do you say when you have proof to shit? Like, when you got proof to something, come on, man, this ain't no publicity stunt shit for me. But of course that's what they would try to say, but you can't say that. I'm not fucked up, I'm not hurting, nothing. Like, you know, I ain't looking for him to sign us, no shit like that. He got an independent record deal, a record label, and I have an independent record label. You know what I'm saying? So actually, shit, I had my label before he had his label. So it's not that I'm trying to do nothing like that. My thing is, now that it's out there, shit, his next interview, if he said, shout out to my nigga Jojo, you know what I'm saying? You right. You know, don't make it seem like, I can't say he's saying he gonna make me look like a liar because he haven't done no interview or nothing as of yet about the situation, but he know he couldn't make me out of a liar or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I don't feel that he would do that to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would agree. Jojo right, yeah, he did. He sent the shit. I told Poochie ass, come on, let's do it, because he fucked with us. He was rocking with us. So that's why I say I don't like it when, like, even when the shit was happening with the GD shit, I didn't want that like that because I know that he have good intentions, my nigga. It's just certain people do shit they way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to take that away from a person when I do know they got good intentions. You know what I'm saying? So that's why.
But let me ask you something. You feel like he got good intentions, but don't you feel like he does a lot of shit that's subliminal that gets him in this type of trouble, though?
I mean, I don't follow him like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not focused. I don't zero in on him to see that. And I have had conversations when I first noticed that those type of things get done, and I spoke and said, hey, man, we be around this dude, you know, and this was people in his camp, you know what I'm saying? We be around this dude, so I can tell him, because he know I would speak on shit like this, like, look, man, stop doing that shit right there, it's going to cause problems, this, that. Niggas trying to sell some records, ain't no. You know, we don't want to confuse the two and have an issue that don't have to be. You know, I have those type of conversations with him, but sometimes the people that's in his camp or on his payroll, they're not going to have that type of conversation because there's one, they not trying to get fired, or, you know, niggas be caught up in yes men positions. You know what I'm saying? I never fall victim to yes man. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. I'm a boss. I always been a boss. Google my name, check the record, do whatever. Ain't no skeletons in my closet, none of that shit. That's why we got iTunes albums called No Skeletons in My Closet. Nobody can come out and say shit foul about us. Nowhere. I don't give a fuck. Nowhere across this country or the globe you gonna get no sideways shit said about us. All you gonna get is 100% honesty. You ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it. Simple as that.
So let me ask you something. He hood billionaire. Let's say that's a coincidence, but then he did the Black Bar Mitzvah album, and then he just so happened to take the symbol that represents GD also. You think that's a coincidence also, or is he doing shit on purpose subliminally?
I mean, I'm going to say this. With change in life, you know, shit, he was running around, did a deal with Leo Korn, which is a which is a Russian Jew. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't want to say stuff that I don't want to give a person an alibi if they don't have one on their own. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So and this the thing, because like a lot of people are upset, you know what I'm saying, with Charlemagne, the most vocalist person in the world, you know what I'm saying, that when he got on Breakfast Club and called the real Rick Ross a rat. So if he a rat, my nigga, why you calling everything about this man? So what the fuck is you saying here? You see what I'm saying? So those are the things that if I was around him, I would have never let him let them words come out his mouth, man. I wouldn't have done it. Just as a friend, as a homie, as a confidant, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have let him do that. We wouldn't even have that type of conversation. Like, you can't speak on no other man's shit. You know what I'm saying? When your shit ain't squeaky clean. You feel me? Like, you know.
So you'll see your next conversation with him, what's your next conversation with him? You bump into him again, like, do you say, yo, my nigga, you owe, or like, what do you do? Where you go from there?
Shit, if anything, it's a what's up and what's up. It's no ill will. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's no ill will. It's just, all I would say is, like, and see, this is what people gotta understand. I said this to Poochie, to his face. I said this to Ross, to his face. In fucking Phoenix, Arizona, in the middle of the mall. I was about 100 strong, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like I was 100 strong about to bark on him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that type of situation. And actually on the front line with me was fellow artists like it was Slim Thug, you know what I'm saying, that he would know on some music shit. So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, like it was no, oh, I got 100 goons with me, we about to get at his ass. It wasn't that. My first words came out my mouth when I saw him. I say, my nigga, where's the love at? That was what I said, because it was too long that due to the fact we fucked with each other, you could have, you know what I'm saying, you know that, okay, you went and did what you did the tour was over, and you told these little guys right here, I fuck with y'all. You had them spit for me. Like, damn, you niggas crazy. It was actually Pistol Pete and Little Black Rose, the Global Gangsters. So It was a show he had here in Chicago. So I always was aware of people saying, oh man, niggas will tell you whatever when they in your city, you know what I'm saying, and they'll rock you to sleep. But I was the person never witnessed that. So that's why I was like, well shit, niggas might have done that shit to other people, but they never done it to me. So do I say this was my first time experiencing that? Then I would have to say yes. Because he did say this what he was going to do, and I've done interviews before, and I said, shout out to Wale, shout out to Meek Mills, because it was prior to them being signed when all this shit was taking place. When all this was taking place, it was right when they got signed. So, you see what I'm saying? So as my artist can say, fuck this nigga, we better never see this nigga again, we gonna do him dirty, this and that, and I just told them niggas, I say, look man, welcome to the music industry, because there's a lot of that shit gonna be going on, so if you think you gonna get down on everybody you see that tell you something, shit, you might as well you better do it squeaky clean. That's the only advice I can give them, you know what I'm saying, because you gonna keep running into some shit like that. So, you know,
I'm gonna tell on you.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, so I was like, this the industry, my niggas. Some niggas got good intentions. They gonna say some shit, and then they gonna follow up on it. So when I said that, we shook hands and we walked off the mall. I don't know what was him and Gucci Poochie conversation after that, but you know what I'm saying. That's where it was let me. That's what was last said about me, my nigga. Where the love at?
ForbesDVD.com